Yes, whether we like it or not, we are participating in a war of which many black people are not aware of. We may not be fighting, but we are certainly at war. You know, all creatures on earth, they know the science of warfare except the black man. Cats knows from when they are young that dogs are their enemies. All animals, trust me, all animals on earth knows its enemies and how to defend themselves from its enemies. Human beings are classified into races. The human race, the fact that we are called a human race, this should tell us that there is a certain kind of racing going on in this world, and racism is the weapon that the enemy is using to defeat you when you start fighting back. This universe has laws, and the first law of this universe is self-preservation. Self-preservation allows us to defend ourselves from anything trying to hinder us from surviving. We all have to survive. That's the natural law. Nature made it in that way. Everything in nature knows its enemy, trust me, knows who its enemy is except you. When I say you, I mean you, the black man. We have felt so in love with our enemy that we hate and kill our own and defend the very same person who has attacked us. We've got black brothers who have married white women, and yet research will tell us that the chances of a white woman to get married are more than that of a black woman. There is no self-respecting Jew 30 years after the Holocaust that will bring a German girl, the daughter of a former slave master, in their house for a wife, while your father and your grandfathers has marks on their arms from the death camps. That's totally impossible. That's a total disrespect to the memories of your fathers by marrying that white woman. It was women who went to Jesus, remember, in the Bible, and let him know that Lazarus is dead. So has been a black woman in this liberation struggle of black people. A good example that I can give you is Winnie Mandela, who fought when Nelson was in jail, telling the whole world that there is a man in prison who is fighting for the liberation of black people, and made the name Nelson Mandela famous, only to be put to shame and get divorced after the great statesman came out of prison and became the president of Republic of South Africa. The man that we all thought he was great to us, the enemy used his greatness and attached their content of disrespecting our black women, something that self-respecting Africans will never forgive the great statesman. The man who managed to forgive white people but failed to forgive a black woman. A total disrespect to our black women. Yes, many women such as Harriet Tubman, Lillian Ngoyi, Miriam Makeba, Gogo Chatinka have played a significant role in the struggle that, for that reason alone, a black woman deserves respect from a black man. The enemy of a black man is a white man. He fears the godly powers that is in the black man. So it is recorded in the scripture about Pharaoh saying, "Come, let us deal with them wisely." And the firstborn male children of the Israel were being killed in fear of them forming a very formidable army that would defeat the Pharaoh and his army. And indeed, he has has dealt with us wisely. He is working day in and day out to make sure that the black man should remain in the grave that he dug for us 6,000 years ago. One prophet in the Bible, Prophet Isaiah, wrote, and I quote, that's Isaiah 3 verse 12, which says, "As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy path." What did the prophet meant by saying, "They which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy path"? Another question that I can pose is, who controls this world? Who is leading us in this time? Is it not the white man? So, with his politics, religion, and education, which path is he leading us to? Yes, if religion is supposed to teach us to love one another, why haven't we yet learned to love ourselves? If his democracy gives us freedom, why are we not yet a free people? And if your education is the key, why is it not unlocking the knowledge of doing for self in those trusting in it? Yes, so amongst us, we do have those who have attained quality education, whom they call themselves the educated ones, which is very good. And with all of our education, why are we still beggars at the foot of somebody begging for a job? With all of our education, why we don't have one factory that can produce jobs for our young people, but still we call ourselves educated? All of us, we wear clothes, but with no clothing factory that can produce something to garment our bodies. What kind of education is this that does not allow us to stop depending on others and allow us to be independent? As educated as we are, why we don't have a reverence of the womb that we came from? Why do we disrespect women? Hence, education is supposed to tell us that without a woman, there would be no any man on this earth, because we came from a woman. Yes, we are educated, but why don't we see the value in our women? We are so much educated that we have even changed the natural use of the woman to the unnatural use. What kind of education is this that still after being educated you can't get the right knowledge to become a man? Yes, you are educated and you have twisted your look into a woman, but still you are educated. You are educated and your education still allows you to be under the foot of somebody to do for you what you can do for yourself, but still you consider yourself educated. Yes, you are educated, but the dogs treats their own better than the way you treat your wife and your children, but they told you that you are educated. This is the condition of a black man or black woman who has been left unconscious, half dead. For those who are in the Freemasonry, they know what I'm talking about. And this man is in need of a good Samaritan, because the church never gave us the right information to become what God made us to become. Yes, this is the wake-up call on African Eyes Radio with me, the African teacher. When the enemy conquered our fathers, he took our mothers and raped them He used our women to put fear in this generation of a black man. You can find that in the Willie Lynch letter, where he said, if you break the female mother, she will break the offspring in its early years of development. And when the offspring is old enough to work, she will deliver it up to you, for her normal female protective tendencies will have been lost in the original breaking process. End of quote. So the black man started to fear the white master, and a black woman started to produce fearful black males, producing a fearful generation, the generation that can't even bring together a family, a generation of men that can't support the family. So in Africa, we've seen the rise of single mothers raising the children on their own, coming back to the process of Willie Lynch in his letter, giving the male children the feminine energy, whereby when they grow up, they won't behave like real men. So we've got a generation of men that are not men but boys. The manifestation of that, we can see it in the behavior of so many men. Yes, many men abandon their families. Many men nowadays, they are not responsible. Many men nowadays, they are not productive as men are supposed to be, because it is in their nature to be productive. Because God, when he created man and put him in the Garden of Eden, he gave him a duty there: produce, multiply, and replenish the earth. So this is the generation of men that the world has produced, which is the result of the breaking process of the original man. Remember, let's deal with them wisely. So the black man has been dealt with so wisely that he is no longer a man. He has been reduced to other than what he was when God created him in the beginning. So in the beginning, God made man, and it seems like man has to be made all over again. Because if man was in the state that God created him, we couldn't have been experiencing the rising numbers of gender-based violence, because no real man will lift a hand on a woman. Yes, if man was in his original state, we couldn't have seen men stealing from women, while others, instead of jumping and help the woman, they'll take their cameras and record the incident, post it on social media so that they can monetize the whole situation. This is not what a real man is supposed to do. A real man would jump in defense of a woman, because a real man knows that he is the protector, the maintainer, and the provider of women and children. The wake-up call right here on African Eyes Radio with me, the African teacher. A black man has been stripped of all the knowledge that can enable him to be productive, thereby be able to command the respect from his woman. He is always in the street, stressed and heartbroken. He can't find peace in his home. That is why he's spending most of his time in the shabins or taverns, because that's where he finds his peace and pleasure. He can't provide the natural needs God put in him for his woman, and this makes it very difficult for his woman to give him the natural needs God put in her. Therefore, that is why he ends up in the hands of another man, leaving the house without a man. This man needs to be made all over again in the image and the likeness of God, not this image and the likeness of the white man. That is why the Bible said, "You were born in sin, shaped in the iniquities, sins and the iniquities of those who are ruling us." He who prescribes the diameter of your learning controls the circumference of your activities. So if education comes from the white master, he is the one who is controlling our actions. If our religious system came from him, definitely he is the one controlling our religious activities. Our behavior is a true replica of his education. Taking a look at this world right now, this is a sinful world. The world is in the very, very bad shape. But who has made the world to be in the shape that it is right now? It is he who gave us the education. It is he who gave us the religion. It is he who is controlling us. So this world controlled by the white man has conformed us to a low life level of living. We have become the little devils. That is why the Bible talks about the mark of the beast. We have the mark of the beast on our forehead. This is the white mind via education and religion, and also the mark of the beast in our hands. That is why we are so lazy to work. We are waiting for him to do for us what we can do for ourselves. A transformation is required, and Apostle Paul specified what kind of transformation is that, and it is the transformation of the mind, self-education and self-knowledge. A man is not only what he eats, but also what he thinks, and that what the mind conceives, it will definitely come into physical manifestation. Remember Proverbs 23 verse 76, which says, "For as he thinks in his heart, so is he." Yes, we are at war, and the color of our skin is the uniform. Thanks for watching this video. Remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, I am the African Teacher.